opening statement. Thoughts on the game?
First off, just really proud of this team, these kids that are representing our team. We had to weather the storm there in the first inning. Lexi wasn't exactly sharp to start. She missed some pitches over the middle or just too fat, and it allowed them to have better contact. So it made some tough plays for us, and some balls that found the base hit range. And man, once we got out of that, I felt good. I was like, okay, we got out of there with 2 runs. We're okay. And then we scored 4. And obviously Jill just comes up and wham with the home run. Our incredible young SID, Serge over here, just told me that 7 of our last 9 hits have been home runs. I don't know that I've been around too many players like that at any point in time. So, especially this time of year. Really cool stuff. It's really cool to have Claire in here. She had a great day as well. Big first at bat, big RBI late. It's just really neat. This team is in a really good spot. Man, it's so fun to play at this ballpark. Like, these fans are just crazy. I know it's hot, and I saw people falling out and trying to find shade, and it's just so cool to see our people support us. So really good second day, and now we can go home and kind of rest and watch everybody fight it out, and hopefully they play lots of extra inning games, and we're just going to sit home and hydrate.
You mentioned the early start for Kentucky, but what did you see from Lexi to get out of that in the first and then to switch gears and basically shut them down for the rest of it?
She was just too middle. The balls were just not where she can pitch, and that's a good team over there, and some good hitters, and to strike out 12 and walk none in a regional game against a SEC opponent. I think it tells you she just needed to get dialed in just a little bit more. But she was, after the first inning, I think she was perfect until the 7th when she if I'm not mistaken, until the 7th inning little weak hit. It's not easy to do when you're a ground ball kid. But to strike out 12, that may be as many as she struck out in a game. I don't know, maybe as many here. I'd have to get Serge to find out that. That's her career high here?
The most here.
Okay.
Her career high is 15.
Okay, so that doesn't happen a lot, so a lot of cool stuff.
You mentioned getting out of the first inning, having only given up 2 runs, you felt good, but how important was it to respond as quickly as you guys did?
It's what this team has done, to be very honest. Anytime we've been beat, anytime we lose a lead, we're not behind a lot. So we just haven't been, and so it's really cool when we get down. I don't think these guys don't panic. Like, they just get up there and go, let's go, just chip away and go, and I think that's been the mark of this team, and that may be the surprise early on for me. It's not a surprise now, but early on when I would say, hey, I think we're really good, I just don't know how good yet. You don't know, because that's the type of stuff that you don't know. What happens when we get down? What happens when we get beat? Like, how do we respond? And this team has responded all the time. It's been very few times that we haven't bounced back.
I think Rosie had an 11-pitch at-bat in that first inning, and then she makes the heads-up play, tagging up from third there. Was that you telling her to go, and kind of what you think of her at-bat there?
No, I wish I could tell you it was a great coaching move. It wasn't. It was somebody in the dugout who, this is what makes this program what this program is. It's somebody in my ear. I'm not going to tell you who that was, but I'm going to tell you there was somebody in my ear saying nobody's covering, and Rosie hearing that, me relaying that, and then she takes off and goes, and it was really cool. We got fortunate there, Mick's walking off, and the catcher runs in, to her, so she had no play. And there's really nothing you can challenge there. She's in a direct line back to the plate, or back to the dugout there. But her at bat was incredible. And that's the type of stuff that I think I'm most proud about. Like, her and Carly, they're the 2 youngest kids. They're getting the most work. the most time. But that type of stuff, like we see that out of them a lot, and it's been really cool.
Joe, we've talked a lot about your celebrations here, especially the last couple weeks, but was there, I don't know, when you stepped up at the beginning of the game with how that first inning went, I don't know, did you feel differently? Did you feel like you really needed to come up with a big play there to start the game, or?
No, I don't. That's just not how it works. I wish it was. I wish we could just be like, I really need to hit a home run right now, so I'm going to do that. You know, like, I wish I could do that. I think a lot of people wish they could, but no, I think just going out there, I will say I do enjoy having a little bit more time in between innings. Coach and anybody on the team will tell you I take a lot of time doing anything. I'm kind of the last person here, last person out, you know, so that's been helping me kind of to just get settled in before getting up to the plate. And I think that extra time has just been helping me, like I said, just to feel a bit more calm. And I told the guys right after the game, just I think a lot more lately, I've just been putting a lot more trust in my coaches and just in the work that I put in before the game rather than feeling like I'm kind of scrambling and putting in work in game. And so just putting a lot of trust in the preparation and in my coaches has helped me just to feel settled in those moments.
I guess I was asking sort of just, I guess the way you celebrated. I was just wondering if maybe that, not that you hit the home run because you needed it, but did it mean a little bit more just knowing the situation y'all were in?
Absolutely, 100%. I think, like Coach said, Kentucky, they came out hot, they came out guns blazing, you know. They were super aggressive, first pitch swinging, and they were doing some damage. And I think they kind of caught us on our heels a little bit, and we were kind of like, whoa, you know. And so I think kind of being able to start the game off like that, kind of being in that energizer role, that really, I think that's something that the team really needed, and I don't know a better way to start it off for us.
Claire, I want to follow up on that from your perspective in the dugout. What did that home run mean to y'all to respond that quickly with that hit?
I mean, it was just great for us as a team. I mean, that doesn't happen to us very often, but everything about Jill is just so contagious, and to have her like set the table like that, it's just great to watch.
For both the players, are y'all able to, in the moment, appreciate what Lexi's doing out there? Like, do y'all realize how many strikeouts she's got kind of as the game's going on? Or?
Oh, absolutely. As a defense, it takes so much pressure off of you, just not necessarily feeling like every single pitch is like, okay, there's a play to be made. I think Lexi just commands the ball so well, and she just has this energy and this aura about her that just makes you, being behind her, just feel like, we got this. You know, like everything's going to be all right, because she's never flustered. She's never caught off guard. She's never surprised. And even when things don't necessarily go her way, she's just always the same. And I think that her being that way and her just being that magnet in the middle just helps us out so much as a defense. And it makes it so much easier to play behind her.
Jill, for you, I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that your journey over the last year has been a pretty incredible one, and the growth, especially in this back half of the season. Is there ever a moment during times like this, I know the season's still going on, but do you ever reflect on, you know, like, wow, like, this really has been a crazy journey for me, and it's incredible to be here?
Absolutely. Reflection has been a huge part of my collegiate career in general. I think just going back to the drawing board helps me a lot. I'm somebody who can get caught up in my own head and who can get in my own way a lot. So I think without reflection, I just would kind of always be stumped. And Coach G helps me out with that a lot, and Coach Ship as well. They really challenge me to kind of communicate where I am mentally a lot. And that also helps me kind of just get out of those little funks when I kind of pull myself down. And so reflection is a huge thing. Just being able to fall back to training and fall back to those good times, like, and going back and looking at videos and things like that when I was at my best just kind of helps me to just get out of those weird areas.
Kenny, I'm curious your perspective too. You mentioned the talks you've had with Jill throughout the season, and do you kind of sit there and think, wow, this is amazing to see where she's at now?
Yeah, I think I kicked myself for not, like, we had a really good talk a while back, and I think it's really, it wasn't because of what we said. It's just, I think it's like drawing a line with Jill and saying, if you don't trust us or trust this whole thing, like, we can't do what you want to do. And I wish I could have done that sooner, but every situation has its time. You know what I mean? And we're talking as a staff, like, I think in the 6th inning, I looked at Ship and I said, man, we had a really tough talk a while back, and it was awesome. It's one that we'll remember for a long time. And I was worried. I was worried about it because that talk, if you don't have good people, it could go two different ways. It could be really good, or it could be very, if you don't have somebody that's starting to trust and starting to buy in and mature enough, it could go the other way. And Jill's the one who's playing. Jill's the one who's doing all this, so it has nothing to do with us, but I think it just brings us down to a common ground of understanding like what we're here for, and that the journey's supposed to be bumpy, and just a lot of cool stuff. So I will, it's something that I will probably talk about for a lot of years here. Got a lot of those moments with kids. What's cool is the journey's not over. That's the best part. I mean, if you look at Jill's numbers, they're crazy. And if you know, there was about, I don't know, Jill, probably 8 to 15 games, or I'm sorry, 12 to 15 games where she didn't get in much. And you put those back into her numbers the way she is currently, I think you guys can do the math. Be pretty good. So it's just neat. It's why coaching, it's what coaching is. It's what it's always been about. We get a little too much credit and blame at times for wins and losses, and these guys are the ones who play. It's just cool to be sitting in the car with these guys and just kind of along for the ride. And both these kids are special. But I know you asked about Jill, but it's just kind of cool. It's kind of cool. We have a lot of that kind of stuff here. It's the cowgirl way.
Jill, what did you first think when you heard 7 home runs and 9 hits?
I was just like, no way. Like, just no way. You know, and I've never really been big on like stats and numbers and things like that, but it is so nice because it's so hard to have success in this game. And I think that's why it's so easy to celebrate. That's why it's so easy for me to just celebrate the little things and just to run around and enjoy it, because this game is hard. You know, like when you get 3 hits out of 10, like that's a great job, you know? So celebrating success is just my main thing, and it's something that I'm always going to take pride in. So I think that's awesome. I don't think I've ever had that in all my entire life, so I think it's awesome.
Claire, we did not get to talk to you after your diving catch yesterday.
Yeah.
Could you take us through that play and kind of how that played out for you?
Honestly, it just happened really fast. I don't think there was much going on in my head other than that I was going to get the ball. Someone on the, whoever was announcing said that it started fair, and I don't think I realized how far it kind of tailed, but I was just going for the ball.
Did you think did you know when you were diving for it that you were going to come up with
Yeah,
it?
I knew. Most of the time I know, or I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. But I had a pretty good feeling about that one.
Kenny, obviously Rosie's had a really great season, but I don't know, did you see these 2 performances back-to-back coming from her? Is this I don't know, do you feel like she's gotten better in the last couple weeks?
I just think like her and Carly kind of go back and forth. You know what I mean? They kind of feed off each other. When they're both going good, like we're really unstoppable. But we can win, like you see like this, when one of them is going good. You know what I mean? And it's really cool to watch the way that they go. Rosie's just pretty chill. Like and I think I've said this in the past. When I recruited Rosie to be like a shutdown shortstop, and that hasn't panned out yet, like for her yet. It's like the game was going fast. Like Claire wasn't an infielder coming here. Jill's played infield. And Rosie's had to learn a new spot. She put her pride in her pocket and said, okay, I just want to play. But this summer, I got to watch her. She was on a really good travel team, and their travel team was kind of falling apart with injuries and kids quitting. And what it did is it forced a kid that I recruited as a defender. It forced her up in the lineup in a really good travel ball schedule. And I just watched her start really growing this summer. I was like, man, I think she's going to be able to hit a little quicker than I may have anticipated. And she comes in here, she puts some muscle on pretty quick, and she's special. I mean, and she feeds off all these guys, and she's just kind of happy-go-lucky, and it's kind of fun to watch. So it's cool. I'm not surprised by anything now. I mean, she's hitting, I think, 5th. She's in 5th or 6th. Are you hitting 5th or 6th? So is she hitting in front of you? Yeah. She's in fifth. I mean, you know, she's protecting Carly in a way, and then she's protecting her. I mean, it's just I look at it, just all these guys are just another layer of protection. So to have these young guys up in our order like this is really cool.
So I know I'm the moderator, but I'm just going to throw in a question here from the side too, if you guys don't mind. Just hearing you talk specifically, you know, you talked a lot about trust, and it came up yesterday, I think, also in here. And we're talking about the fans, and you're talking about all these different things. And like what you two have in common, you're from Southern California, you're from Louisiana. You didn't kind of really grow up in this. Like, are you experiencing what you came here to experience? You know, it's like not just for winning games, but just kind of the whole big picture. Maybe Claire, start with you. Are you getting what you thought you were going to get?
Definitely. I don't think I realized that, like, this is what I was looking for, but playing in it, it's exactly what I was looking for. I love it. I love our fans. Just play in front of them. They're the best. I love everything about it.
Absolutely. Getting everything that I could have ever imagined. I mean, I didn't get as much as I've gotten in this short amount of time that I've been here. I didn't get that in 4 years where I was, you know, and so it's so special. It's so special, and I feel like I've never experienced a team who put so much emphasis on the fans and on the crowd and making sure that they're enjoying themselves as well. And Coach she like says all the time, like, hey, give them something to cheer about, you know, like give them something to yell about and stuff like that. And I've never experienced that, and it just makes such a huge difference in performance and in just being so excited to kind of showcase all the work that you've been putting in all the weeks before. So,
is it easier for you to, since you've talked about sort of the energy you put out there for your team, is it easier to celebrate and be amped up when the crowd can give that back to you?
It makes it a bit easier, yes, but it's not, I'm never going to allow that to dictate who I am, you know, and I think kind of being in that energizer role, it sometimes gets a little rough whenever when I feel like I can't necessarily get going, but yeah, the crowd definitely helps out a lot when they get us up as well.